68 wins to back it up, 11-5 in this season, and 2-2 versus Zerg. However, maybe this is part of the reason why you voted for, for his opponent here. 4 losses in a row in his recent matches.
I didn't know the exact stat, but I know that he's not playing that well these days. And this is another very high-stakes match. It's a really high-pressure situation. Will he be able to perform? That's the question for me here.
Yeah, I definitely see it as well. I went for soO with this match because soO has been consistent. I'd say one of the most consistent Zergs in the world, if not the consistent Zerg in the world. But he does have a tendency to choke, especially in finals. And we've seen it in GSL twice, and I think we can see it here today. Sleep, always a player on point, very, very skilled player, just hasn't had that ability to take it to the top.
Well, let's take a look at Sleep's stats. He's only played 3 times in Pro League, and that's all time. He's never even touched Pro League and Brood War, so more of an amateur player back then. 2-1 this season, 1-0 versus Zerg, and obviously his most recent 5 games represent the same sort of information. Sleep definitely playing a lot more for KT. They have a lot of faith in him. And in this case, I definitely have to give him an edge because of that pressure, that choking you were talking about. This is as high stakes as it gets. You lose in the GSL finals, that's really unfortunate. You lose in the GSL finals again, that's really unfortunate. You lose multiple times back to back, that's terrible. However, you get to the finals of Pro League, which you've been working on for 8 months. This isn't just some, okay, we'll try it again next season, 3 months later. No, it's not just some, all right, well, that's too bad. I guess I'll try again in a few weeks. No. This is a very high stakes match, and only Brendan voting here for Sleep.
I knew it was going to happen this way. I feel like it was a bit of a risky choice, but I do believe in it, and I have my reasons. And it just makes it all the better that KT is up 3-1. You know, he has a lot less pressure than soO does right now. soO, if he loses this game, he loses it for his team. He's felt this before for himself, but now it's even bigger stakes.
Pressure is so much bigger here. KT crowd is feeling happy. SKT is feeling the pressure right now. Let's go into what could be the very last game of this finals.
Up here in the top left, in the blue, for SK Telecom, one of the Zerg players we have here in our next ZVZ, it is soO.
Very cool keyboard layout for this guy as well. His opponent on the right side of the map. And red for KT Rolster, it's Sleep. His opponent. Now we're getting to that crucial moment. Will we see an early pool? This is a 2-player map, one of the shortest rush distances in the entire pool of maps. 10 drones for Sleep and Overlord.
Overlord.
All right. Take a look closely though.
It could still be a tempo. It could still be a tempo.
Could be.
No.
10 Overlord.
Both players playing for macro. I like this in such a high-stakes situation, you know. No cheese to end things here.
No, I think this entire game is going to come down to the gold bases. Who's taking the gold bases? Are they both going to try to take the gold base? Are we going to see, aggression? Are we going to see, a timing attack? Are we going to see, risky builds as a response to the gold base? That's usually what this map comes down to in ZVZ.
Yep, and I mean, generally we see the third base on this map is always the gold. It has to be the gold. It can never not be the gold, otherwise you will fall behind because your opponent will take the gold. It's just the way it is, and it's the way, it's so easy to defend this third base with a Roach concave, and we pretty much see Roach versus Roach in nearly every ZVZ these days. But getting there is the question. How is it we going to get there? Is there going to be Zergling aggression? We just don't know yet.
Well, starting things off, we have early pool is for both players. Not early in the sense of aggressive pools, but safe pools. Both players going for pool before hatch. But this map totally makes sense. Very understandable choice here to go for that, and I'm happy that we see it.
Yeah, both of these builds just making sense. Like Moonglade said, you don't want to see any crazy cheeses in the finals. These players are playing for the win. They're not playing for the cheesy win, the risky win. They want to win it in a real game, and you see it here. Perfect builds for the map, so we're going to get right into this game.
That we are. Hatches have been placed as well now, and it looks like just a slight variation in that soO pushed out one extra drone. And that's about all that's different right now.
Yeah, everyone exactly the same. Finally see a gas go down for Sleep. So getting it a little bit quicker here. Can apply a bit more pressure. But we'll have to wait and see if soO's going to go completely gasless and play for that more defensive style to Roaches, to that delayed third base, which we saw in the last game.
Okay. There's the gas coming up here. Finish now. Drops those drones right in right away. And, you know, both of these players are so skilled in this matchup. We actually see a big pool of resources here, actually, out of soO. Do you think he's going to rush the gold here?
No,
no way, right?
There's no way. There's no way. They would just be a little too crazy.
Just
but he is getting this gas, this sneaky gas at the bottom of his natural. And this is actually a great idea, a great way to kind of sneak in the gas you need for Speedlings and do a surprise attack later on.
Yeah, I was really shocked when I saw that drone go down, but now it all makes sense.
I've done this many times, and it works a charm if they're not scouting that natural.
Yeah,
we don't see any Zerglings on the map, especially for Sleep. He's not really looking for it. I mean, he doesn't have an overlord position either. So this could really go undetected for a long time, and it can definitely catch Sleep out.
Yeah, Sleep's just chilling with that one overlord, checking the main base gases. And
By
he
the way,
doesn't
guys,
know.
full moon tonight.
Oh.
Only so much more fitting. We had fireworks before, now we have a full moon.
And I mean, I'm Wolf and I got a moon glade. What's your story about moons?
I don't know, man. I'm just a Brendan. Pretty standard
We got
here.
Brendan here, and there's a wolf in the moon.
Well,
So nicely done here by Sleep. He's actually,
that's actually
aware of enough to,
I would
to
say
go for
that is
scout.
actually worth an overlord.
yeah.
That was finding that, how early that speed's going to be. He's like, oh, okay.
If it weren't there, he'd be kicking himself in the foot
He
right
could
now.
very well have lost the game if he didn't have a block off at the natural or anything. Putting down a spine crawler as well. Beautiful read. Very, very impressive. And Sleep is on point as expected.
Yeah. Well, let's see how soO actually changes things here as a result now of scouting this. Let's see if he'll actually go through with any sort of pressure. Do you see Evo Chambers going down for both players, getting that wall set with the Roach War. Most timings here pretty normal, but we see obviously with a lack of speed, a faster Sleep lair because he has that extra gas to get this, whereas the lair for soO is going to take a little bit longer with that speed. He's even getting +1 beforehand, so he's really wanting to get those upgrades out before he gets speed.
Yeah.
What do you think about this?
I like it a lot. +1 actually has a great effect in the early Roach fights. Not the kind of effect that a +2 does, but it can still definitely win you fights if the player, your opponent doesn't have +1. I really like the very, very fast lair from Sleep, though. As we saw in last game, the very fast lair did a lot of work, put on a lot of pressure, and secured his third base very, very easily and very early on. We'll have to wait to see exactly what Sleep's plan is going to be with this fast lair. Obviously going to be fast roach, speed roaches, but how much pressure is he going to apply? How many roaches is he going to make with it?
That's the question here. Both of them starting to power up some roaches here. With that Zergling speed, soO is going to try to poke here. Is going to be able to deny that drone. It looked like he wanted to take actually the non-gold third, the blue third. But it's not even going to be able to go down there now. And as a result, he could possibly even move out and take his own gold. He has that faster speed, so that's what he can use. But the converse of this is he has a slower roach speed, so maybe a timing could actually knock down his gold base if he decides to be too greedy on that.
Yeah, absolutely. A good thing about this map, though, is that like the natural and that third gold is so easy to defend from one choke point that it's so hard to do timings unless you're very, very ahead. And I mean, I think Sleep can kind of pressure and can kind of like snipe maybe a few roaches with his speed advantage, but he will not be able to kill, especially with the spine crawler already there.
Well, gold base very close to finishing here, much faster for soO. And that extra mineral mining is really, really important. We talked about it earlier, the gold base we saw on Overgrowth. Gives you the extra minerals to make more roaches. And he's already going to come over here and pressure a little bit.
Yeah, this is actually really, really bad. He's going to be really out of position to defend against his roach timing. He's going to have to sit in his choke point very quickly here. Making a spine crawler at home, kind of scared of any sort of timing. He does have enough roaches at the moment.
All right, that trophy flashes before our eyes here as his attack commences. This could actually be a game-deciding fight. All right, here we go. soO comes in for the attack. Sleep kites back. He's got a lot of queens here for transfuses. Has them earlier as well. But there's a lot of things here for soO right now. They're there to take. He's trying to push his way through. A very close fight, but it looks like soO may have too much of those speedlings coming through.
Oh, and really nice transfuses here as well. Getting a ton of those roaches in the back transfuses. That spine in the back is way, way too late. soO has one of his own, and it looks like he's going to push through.
It looks like he is, but there's a lot of reinforcing roaches about to pop. Can they hold? Is it going to be enough? They're just coming out too slow. He tries the wall here. Queens are being targeted down.
And it's just too much. Really, really perfect timing from soO. Gets everything down. Forces out some roaches, but just not enough. Not enough defensive time with these speedlings. It's just perfect. This is a really nice hold position, but at the same time, drones are not mining. And this is a big, big deal. He's going to start losing drones now that they're attacking, and there's still so many zerglings and roaches knocking at the door. Even a spine crawler.
The spine crawler is helping out, man. This is just too much right now for Sleep to handle. It looks like soO has done it. He's won on the habitation station here, and he's keeping SKT's hopes alive for just a little bit longer. Now running into the main base with these speedlings. Good position now. The Roach is doing everything he can, but it's just too little, too late. Even offensive Queens killing the Overlords now, and the last of the drones will fall. The spine crawler's coming to join the party.
You know you're in trouble when there's a queen in your main.
GG.
Not sure what to type there, but I had my doubts. In the end, the better player, soO's able to take it, and he keeps this one alive. 3-2 now for KT. Get a good shot there at the SK head there.
All right, guys, we got ourselves a finals here. Guys, let's talk about our next game a little bit here. This is going to be this match that decides whether or not we have an ace match. It's Classic versus TY. And TY looking really, really good in the matchup. Classic is the player that I think most would have voted for a few months ago, even maybe a few weeks ago, but TY's momentum is hard to ignore.
It really is. I'm pulling for this guy. I feel like he's got a lot of good stuff behind him. He was really good in the beginning of round one. I hope he's back into that, you know, that kind of favor where he's practicing really well and he's playing really well.
Yeah, to have to wait and see, man. But so far, things looking really, really, at least more favorable right now for SKT. They're not like on their dire straits anymore. They still have, you know, that death right in front of them. You know, one more mistake and they're out. But they're one step closer to being able to use any one of their players again, or even use a player like Fantasy. Really don't think we will see him, but you know, just something like that. Could be somebody new.
Yeah, it definitely could be, but I mean, looking at this match, Classic versus TY, TY kills Protoss for a living. He's what he's been doing in Pro League for so long. And Classic, he's a great player, very, very solid player. We saw him win a GSL, but at the same time, like, in his most recent GSL Codes, he dropped to opponents very, very quickly. Granted, that might have just been because he was busy practicing for this match and not his PVZ, which is understandable for sure, but it's surely going into this with not as impressive stats as he'd like.
Sure, sure. Sleep, you know, talking with Action here a little bit. They're both GVZ buddies, but yeah, not good enough of a win there.
Some heated discussion, actually. Soup's looking a bit pissed off right now.
I'm seeing a lot of discussion between players like Katz and Rhett on Twitter saying, you know, that all-in was a bit surprising, very risky, very greedy. You know, as you were saying as well, Moonglade needs to do damage. A lot of people were really surprised he would do something so aggressive like that. And I think that Sleep and Action are just both being like, damn, you know, I can't believe he actually had the guts to do that in this matchup where if he loses, it's all over.
Absolutely.
We were talking about which player was the player who was going to have the balls to actually do something like that, go all in, go super aggressive, and it was soO. He's done it before. He loves to be aggressive, that Zerg player.
All right, so guys, let's talk about this map a little bit coming up next. Classic versus TY. Map seems to favor Protoss. Player seems to favor TY. Discuss.
I agree completely. I think it's going to come down a lot to the spawns, whether it's going to be close by air, whether it's going to be complete cross map. That's going to have a big tell on how aggressive TY can be, because obviously TY loves to be really, really aggressive against Protoss, loves his drops, loves his Widow Mine drops. He's done so much with Widow Mines, specifically in TVP. So we're going to have to wait and see exactly where they're going to spawn before we can really tell how this match is going to go.
For me, it's like my head is Terran here. It's TY. I feel like he has the advantage, but my heart is Classic. I'm like, this is going to Game 7, 100%. But I don't know. I mean, Classic has not been playing well recently. You can't deny it.
Yeah.
And TY's been playing better and better. And Terran's been doing good against Protoss. You look at Codas, 4 Terrans get out, 2 Protosses drop. We looked at a lot of TVPs, and that seems to be the trend these days.
Yeah. Now, if you notice, if you look really closely, you'll notice that the Korean commentators and us have switched places. Now they're where we used to be. And just so you guys know. Also,
we were there, guys.
Our mentor, our middle caster, he's got a little bit of a hair hanging down. I'm liking it.
You like that?
I like that.
Sassy.
Sassy, man.
That's sassy.
Looks very very Earthbound / 1950s. I'm not really sure which, but I'm liking it.
The Elvis caster at the desk.
The ace match just seems like something naturally that would happen here, but I just don't know if Classic could do it. I think this game may be decided simply based upon spawning locations. At least the advantages will be given early by this fact. We just don't know where these players are going to spawn. We don't know, where they're going to end up here.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's really going to have a massive say in it.